There'll be more trouble for the ex-royals known as Meghan and Harry with one of their mega deals. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to have your company as ever. Thank you so much, by the way, for your kind comments about all those puddings. Yes, we shouldn't really be talking about fattening things, should we? But a lady did write and say it's true, actually. Those milk-based puddings are quite easy to make, aren't they, in this cost of living crisis. One I did miss, though, yes, one of my favourites, was bread and butter pudding. I know, I love that one. Isn't it interesting as well? I was thinking that when you look at the puddings from yesteryear, how, of course, they were just simple, basic foods that we all had. And you could spin them up into a treat, you know, like jelly and ice cream, jelly and custard, that sort of stuff. All the desserts today have got fancy names, haven't they? Top prices, fancy names, and not as nice, in my opinion, as the ones of yesteryear. Back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, as you know, Harry and Meghan are busy making money. You know, a lot of people say they need money too. And the problem that you have now, of course, with the ex-royals is that they sign these mega deals, but really what you need is to be able to turn something around. Now, the problem, of course, with the ex-royals, who are Harry and Meghan, is that they have to make money. You know, that's the deal. I mean, they're independent now, as they keep trying to point out to everyone. All of their devoted followers keep saying, you know, well, they're now making independent money. But with that comes responsibility, you know, and as we've seen with Prince Harry's initial burst of flurry of jobs, the things with Better Up and Chief Impact Officer and all that sort of stuff, it seemingly has all died down, you know, because it's not really just him. It's the fact that companies are spending less money, particularly giving it away on what they may consider not to be a viable return. This is, of course, the problem for the mega company that is the streaming giant Netflix. Now, there's big problems looming there, and as ever, we have to say allegedly. This really all centres upon their much hyped docu-series, reality show, whatever you want to, you know, call it. If you recall that we were supposed to be having the Invictus documentaries, but now this is going to be pushed through first. And this is where it gets interesting, because we've already seen, of course, the former royal Meghan Markle distance herself from this particular docu-series. That's because most of it was filmed, recorded and edited prior to the sad demise of our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. So one would suspect that it's not necessarily in the highest of order. You know, we'll just leave that point there. But what's interesting now is that while the company themselves and of course the former royals want to distance themselves from this release, it's very difficult, isn't it? Because they're now claiming that this will be very difficult to try and promote the book and the series at the same time. Now, of course, that is the unit that they're using to claim that they're not too happy with the end result. It's been handed over to an executive producer, and as we pointed out, Meghan's very swiftly pointed out that it's her story being told through someone else's eyes. But this hasn't gone down well at all with Netflix. They were still reeling over the backlash and negative PR from their spectacular series, in their mind, the money spinner, The Crown. And more importantly, it's interesting to note, isn't it, that if you are Meghan and Harry and you basically need that money, even though you went on a TV show and said you would never would have signed with them had you not been financially strapped, at this point you have to deliver. And at the very point where they seemingly have to deliver, they don't want, or more importantly, they distance themselves from this particular product. Now, this could be the very final straw for Netflix. Seemingly because if they don't get behind this product, and I've been told this by a very senior source within the streaming giant, then that could simply be curtains. And more importantly, that would be the very stop of that revenue stream. For Harry and Meghan, these are very testing times because, well, it all started with a major flourish, of course, with what they'd signed, the money they were earning. Now the real hard work comes in delivering. And can they deliver enough for Netflix? As ever, this is an ongoing story, and when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.